Hello everyone, welcome back to Sara Stories. We are doing the 17 SDG stories, which are the 17 goals that are to be achieved by the United Nations by 2030. And today's 13th SDG is climate action. It is very important because it is definitely the need of the hour for everyone to contribute to climate action. We have to change the climate. We have to act upon it if we want to ensure our survival. So this story is really wonderful. It's really heart-touching, and it will show how young kids take action of the environment in their hands, and they help in transforming a whole community. So before I move on to the story, if you have not liked my channel, subscribed to my channel, seen my previous videos, please go and see the previous ones. This is a very interesting series and it's getting more interesting by every story. And please subscribe and share. And with that, I'll begin my story. It's from the Tinkle Digest. Once upon a time, in a village of Maharashtra, there was a man, a farmer called Vittal. Now Vittal used to look after his farms with great care. He had two children, a son, Mahadu, and a daughter, Maina. Both the children used to love being around on the farm. They both were experts in different activities. Mahadu could enact any sound that he heard, like the school bell, like the ambulance, like the police. And Maina was a very good gulail thrower. Gulail is like a catapult. And both of them used to show off to each other their skills and had brother-sister fights. So one day, Maina said, "Look, I've thrown my stone so far, you can't throw it." So Madhu said, "Stop boasting. I'm going to race home and I'll see how fast you can race." And both of them race. And as they reach home, a violent storm starts. And the storm goes on and on through the night. And the next morning when they wake up, Vithoba sees, "Oh, my crops, the gales were so strong that in one gale, it has bent over like this. One more gale and this whole crop will be destroyed. What will I do?" Madhu and Maina said, "Poor Baba, every year this is what happens." And at that time, an old man came and said, "Oh, Vithoba, your crop is bent over. The curse of Gangaraju has struck." Vithoba said, "Oh no, not again." And the old man went away. At night, when Madhu and Maina were sleeping, they were discussing, who are the Gangarajus and why is everybody so scared of them? Madhu said, "Oh, Gangarajus must be ghosts who eat little girls." Maina said, "I'm not scared. You're not scaring me." Madhu said, "Let's go and explore tomorrow. Who are these Gangarajus? Let's miss school." Maina said, "Miss school? Then what will Baba say?" Madhu said, "You're a scaredy cat." Maina said, No, we'll go meet Mahatra Ajoba, the grandfather who came." And they went the next morning to the village square and said, "Where will we find Mahatra Ajoba?" The shopkeeper said, "The man is crazy. Why do you want to see him?" But the children persisted. So the shopkeeper said, "There, near the old fort, he lives there." So both the children went and said, "Mahatra Ajoba, we want to meet you." And he said, "What? What happened?" You said something about Gangarajus, right? What are the Gangarajus? Are they ghosts? Are they dacoits? Are they rakshasas? What are they? Mahatra Ajoba started laughing. He said, "Gangaraju was a pandit in this village." So once upon a time, what had happened was that there was a bunch of trees which was surrounding all the fields. And some men from the city came and asked. They said that, "We'll tell these villagers that these trees are useless and we want the wood and we'll pay them very well. They won't refuse." But Pandit Gangaraju saw through the consequences and he said, "No, don't do this. Don't sell. Don't let them cut it because these trees are important." So the villagers said, "This Pandit, he does not have a family and he's telling us how to behave. How? We'll let the villagers take it away." And little by little, the city folk, they took away all the trees one by one and there were none left. Every year, the gales grew stronger and wilder. There were always the gales, but the trees would always protect the crops. But now without the trees, the crops had started getting affected. And Pandit Gangaraju died because he could not live to see the destruction which was going to come. And as the gales grew fiercer and fiercer and fiercer, these gales got the name the curse of the Gangarajus. Mahadhu and Maina were listening to Mahatma Ajoba speak and said, "What were these trees? Are they still there? Can we find some?" Mahatma Ajoba said, "Yes, they are there in the forest. Let's go tomorrow to the forest and see what they are." And Mahadhu and Maina returned home. Baba asked, "Children, what did you learn at school today?" Both the children began to start up. You didn't go to school, right? Mahadhu and Maina said, "No, Baba." "Where did you go?" "We went to meet Mahatma Ajoba to know what the curse of Gangarajus was." And that's when the teacher from school came home and said, "Okay, so tomorrow as you are planning, let's go and visit the forest." So a few villagers, the teacher and Mahatma Ajoba went to the forest looking for the trees. And Mahatma Ajoba pointed, "Those are the Gangarajus." The teacher looked and said, "Oh, these are strong deodars and they help soil erosion, and that is why they used to help." So they decided that they would cut some grafts and they would put it bordering the fields once again. And the next day again they brought equipment and they grafted stems and then they took it back to their village. And 1 month later the results were being seen. The trees were growing up, and that is when the teacher and Mahatma Ajoba said, "You children are very brave. You have put an end to the curse of Gangarajus." And both the children were so happy. They said, "Yay, we're so happy." And that is how the story ended. I hope you liked the story. And this story was very important because our future is in the hands of children. And it is very important to teach children to take steps towards protecting the environment, because that will be like securing their own future. You do know how we take up investments and financial securities. Well, all of those would be useless if we did not have an environment that would support us. And so we should live a holistic life where we not only take care of our material future, but we also take care of our collective future as a planet. I do hope you have enjoyed the story. Personally, this is my favorite story out of all the stories that I have shared, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow for my next SDG story. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay tuned to my channel.